Good evening, everybody. Welcome to my channel. I feel like I'm losing my voice a little bit, but welcome to my channel where we talk all things true crime. If you are new to my channel, welcome, hello. And if you're a returning Titan, welcome back. We are back for yet another live, the second one for today. Evening, Joanne. Oh, 12:35 p.m. Oh, East Coast of Australia. Oh, it's daytime for you then. It's over here, 9:34 at night, the U.S. and Ohio, East Coast. So it is getting later in the evening. But before we get started, I'm just going to let a few more people get in the chat. We are going to be discussing, the Idaho massacre that happened on November 13th. That's what we'll be discussing in today's chat. So as you guys are coming in, I'm just going to get a few of my tabs together, make sure I've got everything in order, kind of see where I want to start. I was pulling up tabs like left and right before I got on. I do that pretty often though, so that's usually why if I'm ever running late, that's why. Because I'm like busy running some tabs, looking at things. I actually wanted to look up just on Twitter, see if there's anything in the last couple of seconds that I haven't seen. And hopefully you guys got to see the live from earlier today, but if you didn't, you can check that out later if you'd like to. Earlier in the live, we touched on a couple of different things. I'm not sure where I've been. Grab them real quick. I always have papers all around my office and in the studio because I always am typing something up. I feel like it's easier to type up things than to try to just, wing it or try to write them all down, because then I'll be writing down stuff all day. So we did go over a few things in the in our live from earlier. We just went over a couple things that we wanted to debunk in this case, and then we went over the AWP footage that's going to be released to the public, I believe, tomorrow. It is from the Kylie Rodney case. I guess Nick, the tow truck guy, is going to go ahead and release, or he gave him, they're going to release his interview. They don't have any actual footage that can corroborate what he's going to say, but I guess they're going to release what he's going to say. I saw someone earlier when I got off my live, I saw someone earlier on Twitter that actually made a valid point, and they said, like, pretty much Jared's milking it for what he can get it for. He's just trying to get that extra bit of memberships. So I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to become a member just to see it, because to me, either way, it's not going to, do anything either way. I feel like either way. So with that said, we went over those things today. And then we also went over how there's creators, and not really creators, but news outlets even, that are just now beginning to they're just now beginning to talk about the front door being left open at the Idaho house. I don't really know I'm trying not to call it like the murder house. I don't want it to call it that, because it shouldn't have been that. But so I'm just going to try to call it, the home of, the Idaho 4. That's what we'll just try to call it. But yeah, so there's a lot of creators, a lot of news anchors. They weren't really covering that, and we had heard it on our channel. I heard it on my channel the first couple of days. Within the first couple of days, I heard that the front door was left open, and that's really what got it stuck in my head, that I felt like the killer went in and left out the front door. I've always been steadfast in that, and I'm still sticking to it. That's just what I believe. But I was going to give you guys a little reasoning behind my madness tonight. I actually found a couple articles I was really surprised that I found, and that actually helped back me up. So I was like, okay. So I was going to go through those with you guys, and then I have some images of the inside of the house. I couldn't find, they were blurring them all out for a while. They weren't like showing, but I found one website that actually was showing the inside of the home, not like with their things in it or anything. It's just like a Zillow type of listing. But it's called Zumper. So it's just a little different. And then I also have like floor plans because I wanted to try to really get you guys to understand kind of where I'm coming from and all that good stuff. So hopefully everybody's having a good Saturday. Hopefully you guys can hit that like button when you will come in the door. If you haven't joined our membership yet, we would love to have you. I'm actually going to drop the membership link in the comment. Just one. That way, if anyone wants to become a member, it gets you special perks, videos quicker. I'm going to start doing a lot more pre-recorded, so you'll be getting those quicker. Also, I'm going to start doing less lives per week, so it'll probably be between 2 and 4, and then half of those will be members only, and then the rest will be for everybody. That way, everybody gets something, and then members as well. Sorry, I was trying to talk and find the link at the same time, and it wasn't happening. It's not happening for your girl. So here is the link if you want to join the membership. I'm going to post it down there for you guys. And then here in a few minutes, if anyone wants to come up on panel, I can drop the link for that as well. Just before you guys, if you guys do want to come up on panel, just before you come up, just make sure you have a pretty strong internet connection. Because if not, it won't really work that well. So let's see, where should we start? Oh, let me check Twitter really quick. I was kind of checking it and then I didn't really check it that well. And if anybody has heard of anything or wants me to look anything up, let me know in the comments below as well, because you may have heard of something that I haven't heard of. It doesn't really look like there's a whole lot going on. I mean, I guess that's, I guess that's good. That's okay news, not really good news because you want something. So I don't know if you guys were on with me earlier today, but the guy that we were talking about, how he put out the fake screaming video of he said it was one of the girls supposedly screaming in the background of like the body cam footage or something. Well, that guy there, I guess he got confronted in a group call about his fake actions. Here, I'll just show it to you. I was looking on Twitter. It's like despicable. So he was okay. So Joseph Morris that's the YouTube creator that made up this whole thing. He made up a news article. He made up video. He made up a lot. Is confronted in a group call about his fake vids about the Idaho case and other past murder cases. This isn't the first time he's done this. This is like the third or fourth case he's done this with, like big, huge profile cases, including Gabby Petito. And he said, I guess I did it because I love it. And this guy has like 242,000 subscribers. 242,000. So that means YouTube gave him a play button and everything. And he's doing that. And if you haven't seen my video earlier, make sure you watch it. And if not, make sure you go watch Mills' video he did on it, because he exposed this guy and it's just disgusting. It's really sick that you could do that to a family. You know that her family's watching me. Everybody. Her family is watching every channel that they can watch. I would be, and so they're watching this, and then they might be seeing that, and it's just terrible. So I just put the hashtag in because I thought maybe something would pop up. So I guess that was all that was there. Let me see. Yeah, I guess everyone. I guess he's the hot news now. But the cops said that if people continue to produce like fake news like that, they're going to be hi Doreen. They're going to be actually hi Scorpio Joe. Hi everybody else in the chat. I see you guys up there. Hey Bella. All right, Princess Megan, Elsa, and SRB. Hey guys. What are you saying? Oh no, I guess he's just the news for now. So I'll look at it later. But I wanted to show you a few things. There was a couple of these articles. Okay, so I couldn't find the exact article that I showed the other day in the chat or on our live. I showed a video the other day that was this is from the same. It's from Fox News, so it's from the same newscaster. She's the same lady that did the first interview with the neighbor that said that the door was open, left wide open between 8:30 and 9 that morning. And she just rear air, can't even say that word, so I'm not going to try it right now. She just confirms that, but she talks about the case a little bit also. So I just wanted to show you guys this tape or this video. And if you guys are just now coming in, please like, subscribe, comment, all of those good things. I do have it on subscriber only mode you don't have to be a subscriber for a minute to comment. And I just do that because it's Saturday evening. There's bots out there and there's no mods but myself. So I just don't want anybody coming in, and messing up the chat for everybody when I'm flipping back and forth through pages. So sorry about that. Thank you, Aaron McAdams. Reiterating. That's what I needed. I needed someone to spell that out for me. I really did. I've just been exhausted lately. I think that's what it is. Hi, TF. I think that last night done me in. I went out. Well, we really didn't go out. We went to a work party, but still, I was up till like 1 a.m. I haven't been up since 1 a.m. in forever. Thanks, TF. I probably will throw you guys some wrenches because you guys are the best. I don't even know how to do it. I probably have to do it on my iPad or my MacBook, like through Studio or something. I'll have to look that up because I'm going to need them soon. You never know, You never know. I appreciate that so much. It's okay. It happens to the best of us. I really can get tongue-tied very easily. See, I just did it again. I think I am a little sleepy though too, but I wanted to do a later live because I just love doing later lives with you guys on Saturdays. So I was like, I'm going to jump back on. And normally you guys will see my beautiful self, but I just am not feeling the greatest tonight. So I decided, and my head will be down a lot. I decided to leave my camera off. Okay. We need to turn that off too soon. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and play this one for you guys. And then I will be in the chat with you guys as well. Oh, maybe.
She is live in Moscow, Idaho. You had an interview with the police chief yesterday. What's happening there today?
Hi, John. Yeah, the police chief gave us great new information and says that they're on pretty good track here to hammer out the timeline and exactly where these victims were the night this all went down in that house behind me just off of campus, which is a private rental. Now, today, this is the most that we've seen of investigators at the home in quite a few days. They've gone inside, including the police chief himself, back into that crime scene to try and gather belongings of these victims. This is because they have been talking to the families about some of the things they wanted from these girls, and they want those things from the house. So the police said, we'll go in, we'll get the list of the stuff you want, and we'll give it to you at a later date. So that's what we've been seeing out here, as you can see in some of those pictures. This is a step in the grieving process and also another step forward in the investigation, but the crime scene is still sealed. The police chief says they're doing everything they can to find the killer.
It's part of what we do, and we need to do that for the family. We need to go in and pack up stuff and get it, and we'll take it to a secure place so they can come and get that stuff. And is it easy? No, but they need that. And it's our job to do that for them. And it's our job to help with their closure, hopefully.
It's been nearly a month since Kaylee Gonsalves, Maddie Mogan, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin were murdered in that off-campus rental home in Moscow, Idaho. Police are focused, John, on finishing their timeline on the night of the murders, and I just learned a short time ago about some of the whereabouts of the victims that night. Investigators had said just in the past 48 hours they were still trying to figure out what happened during an almost 5-hour gap between the time Kernodle and Chapin were seen at a frat party nearby and the time they got home. But investigators have now told me that they believe those two were at the Sigma Chi fraternity party the entire time. Police have questioned dozens of people, including members of that frat, just trying to figure out some clues in this case, but no arrest yet. Just because someone's been cleared right now, does that mean they might be re-interviewed?
Many hours have gone into that, and several investigators and the investigative team have all looked at the information that comes in, and they've verified that those people can be cleared. So what I want to assure them is we're doing everything we can, and we're taking our time to do it right.
And doing everything they can, including talking to neighbors. I talked to some neighbors who live nearby here too, John, a few hours ago. They told me something that was pretty interesting. We've been talking about that backsliding door so much, but the front door, I'm told by a neighbor who walked by that morning, who was coming back to his apartment, was wide open around 8:39 a.m. He told me that he gave that information to investigators, but we hadn't heard too much about that front door. And around 8:30 or 9 a.m. would have been a pretty good amount of time before police ever got the call that those students were dead inside. John.
So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that because that just like shows you like, you know, how that front door was open. I'm just wondering why it was open. And then I found another like news article and I was like, it's getting better for me. I think it was this. So I'll play this one too, really quick, and then one more. They're not very long clips. This one's from November 18th, 2022. So it just shows that the door was being talked about at one point.
Hi, I'm Curtis, 42. I've got a steady job.
I hate it when these do this.
Max out my 401k every month. It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity.
Now it's easy to help protect yourself. LifeLock helps detect identity
so
threats.
loud.
If there's a problem, we work to fix it. Backed by our $1 million protection package.
This is the dark web?
I hate these little
Think
ones.
so.
These little things that
Is
do
anyone
that.
else concerned about this?
Identity theft protection starts here at LifeLock.com.
I'm going to bring in Mercedes Colwyn, Fox News legal analyst and criminal defense attorney. Mercedes, what is jumping out at you when you hear this story from these students and when we learn a little bit more detail about the weapon that was used in this? And we're going to look at it, listen to something from the coroner in just a moment. What jumps out?
Well, certainly the key information just given to you in your discussion with Madison just a moment ago is the fact that there was an open door, because there had been a lot of speculation that perhaps the individual who murdered these 4 students actually knew the students. But now that we know that the door is actually, there was an open door, there's an entry, it could likely have been a stranger. The other part that jumped out at me immediately was the weapon itself. The fact that it was a knife as opposed to a gun. There's nothing to indicate there's been a burglary, that this somehow was a burglary gone wrong. And the fact that these students were attacked in the middle of the night. The other part that is so, and especially with Kernodle's father that came forward and said, my daughter had defensive wounds. Yeah. Zaina had defensive wounds. She fought for her life. So that begs the question, if you have other individuals within the home, how could they not have heard the struggle? And a key question that you asked Madison just moments ago is, where were the bedrooms? So she confirmed that Zaina and Ethan's room was not on the same level as Madison and Kaylee, the other 2 victims. So it starts to create this universe of perhaps there was some commotion and it wasn't her, but what does this all mean at the end of the day? There's still so many unanswered questions. And even the food truck has become now a focus of attention, because we know that Madison and Kaylee were there in the middle of the night shortly before they were murdered. So there are a lot of unanswered questions, and little by little, we're starting to put those pieces of the puzzle together.
Yeah, and the images that we now have of the other 2 housemates whose names have been identified as well today, and the police say that they are cooperating, that they are not suspects at this time. So obviously a lot to follow here. Thank you very much, Mercedes. Good to see you.
My pleasure.
Okay. And then I'm just going to play this one really quick since it's, yeah. So the title of this one is, and this was from November 18th, and I had never seen like I had never seen this one before. So let me know if you had seen this one, or any of these actually. But this one, especially at the end, like this last one, let me know if you guys had seen this, because I've never seen this article, and I was like, it just kind of was like, again, because there was speculation in the beginning about, who could have had the key card, or I'm sorry, the keypad like combination, who all knew it. Did people know it? Did people not know it? Was it ever changed? Things like that. So this kind of just helps put some of those speculations to bed a little bit, because a couple of their friends reached out and said this in an interview. So the title of it is University of Idaho Victim's Friend. It says dorm door lock code wasn't usually activated.
"2022 is the last chance to go solar. In December of 2020, Congress passed an extension to the solar investment credit, which pays homeowners an average of $9,880 to install solar panels. See how much you can be paid for going solar by taking the Go Solar quiz below. Time for a secret? The solar investment credit is the only reason so many of your neighbors have gone solar, and it expires this year. Not all homes qualify, so click the link below and take the 30-second quiz. The quiz will verify if your home is eligible."
Skipped it.
So
Sorry,
not
guys.
since the Amanda Knox case, when the American student and her boyfriend were accused of stabbing her roommate, has a brutal college killing gripped the attention of the nation in the way that this story has. And it has raised so many questions about who did this, how did they do it, why did they do it. The Moscow, Idaho killer who slaughtered these 4 students in the prime of their lives is out there somewhere at this hour. And now people are starting to speak out. Jeffrey Kernodle says his daughter, Xana's autopsy shows that she tried to fight off her killer. The sister of Kaylee Gonsalves warns U of Idaho students to get out now, saying, quote, "You are not safe until this sicko is found." 2 University of Idaho students who knew some of these victims join me now, Madison Fitzgerald and Tanner McLean. Madison and Tanner, I know you're both in university leadership, and we thank both of you for being with us today. I know this is just an unimaginably hard time for all of you as you head off to Thanksgiving. Madison, tell me a little bit about your relationship to some of these individuals, and when's the last time that you were in that house?
I don't recall the last time I was in that house. I was very close with Xana and Ethan. It was Xana's home, and she was just the most welcoming and kind person that I'd ever known. A lot of people came in and out of that house just because of how kind all 4 of them were, and welcoming to have visitors and guests over all the time. Ethan and Xana, it was a pleasure to know them, and this is something that has truly rocked our community.
Let me ask you this, Madison, from being in the house, how I understand that there were several bedrooms on 3 different floors. Was Xana's bedroom on the same level as the other 2 women's bedroom? How close together were they?
I believe that Xana's bedroom was on a different floor than the other 2 bedrooms.
And what about the other 2 roommates? And I believe we have pictures of the other 2 roommates who thankfully survived this and are cooperating, were understood. Where was their bedroom?
I'm not sure where their bedrooms were located.
Can you explain how you would enter the house when you went there? Did you go through this sliding door that we're hearing about, or did you have to use a code to enter the house to visit Xana and Ethan?
There were 2 points of entry to the house. Most frequently, people used the door that was located on the basement, and then you took a set of stairs to get to the main floor.
And was it your experience that you would that you knew the code, or that people?
I'm just going to stop her really quick right there, because that girl just said that she didn't know where the roommates slept, where their rooms were. But then she said that everybody entered through the basement door. Just remember that. So if that girl, and she's supposed to be friends with all of them, she didn't know where those 2 roommates were sleeping, how would that, maybe that killer, the guy that killed them, or didn't kill the two girls on the first floor, but maybe he knew that, like, or he didn't know where they slept either. I don't know. It's just a little weird. But she said that they all used that basement door. So that was a frequent point of entry for them to go into. And I could see that being a frequent, I could see that being a better point of entry because that's where you park your vehicles. And it seems like it would just be easier to walk in that door, go up the stairs. You're right there to the living room. She was probably told what she couldn't say. Yeah, she probably was. Yeah, I'm going to rewind that just a little bit. I'm going to rewind her back a little bit because she's good. She's real good. If it'll let me.
The code, or was it, did you have to
That was located on
Oh, yeah, she's looking at something.
the house to visit Xana and Ethan?
There were 2 points of entry to the house. Most frequently, people used the door that was located on the basement, and then you took a set of stairs to get to the main floor.
And was it your experience that you would that you knew the code, or that people knew the code, or was it, did you have to use the code to enter the house?
When I would go there, the code wouldn't be activated, so we could just open the door and get in.
Okay. Tanner, you're the student body president. I'm sure that, that's.
She just said that they didn't even use the code. Like the code wasn't even activated on the door. So right there, that just shows that anybody could have walked through that front door. So think about that now. Now that you're just think about it. Now that there's 2 points of entry, that there are there isn't. Who is the young lady who has been to the house? She's friends. So Joanne, she's friends with the girls, I guess. She's friends with Maddie, Kaylee, and Xana. And Ethan, I believe she was friends with him too. But I believe she was pretty good friends with the girls. And this was actually an older interview. This was from November 18th or something like that. And I just stumbled across this tonight when I was trying to find more information about the interview about the front door being left open. So if that door, and it's in the description too, whenever we get off this video, I can read it. It'll say that the front door was the main point of entry, that basement on that first level. And that most of the kids that went over there, I call them kids, but you know what I mean, young adults, most of the people that went over there used that basement door. So that could be anybody now. And if you're thinking about it, don't think about that sliding glass door. Don't just think about just the sliding glass door. Think about, why are those chairs in the sliding glass door? When were they placed there? And then you think the front door was left open. And you think, well, everybody knows that the code was broken, or the code didn't work, or everyone knew the code. It's just very suspicious. So making me think that that point of entry is that front door even more than I was this whole time that I've been thinking that.
Important leadership at this moment. What was your relationship to these individuals, and what can you tell us about them?
So I knew Xana, and all 4 of them truly touched countless students on campus, the lives of countless students. They're each, social butterflies, would always be saying hi to them out around campus or off campus, and the impact's been felt across the entire Vandal community. It's been extremely difficult since their loss, and they were close with everyone I knew and all my friends, and which is why this past week students have been leaving. I left myself because of just how difficult it's been in Moscow emotionally right now.
So the 2 other individuals who lived in the house, the other 2 women, Bethany and Dylan, did either of you know Bethany or Dylan? Do you know them?
I didn't know them personally, but I heard that they were of the same kind, genuine individuals.
Tanner, have you ever heard about a stalker on campus or anything to that effect? There were reports that there was someone that some people were concerned about back in September.
back in September, there was a vandal alert sent out to students. Someone on just a sidewalk did make some sort of threat, but I can't speak to that. That's more of a question toward the Moscow authorities.
So, Tanner, what are you all thinking about what happened here? Obviously, nobody knows for sure, but do you feel like this is an outsider or that this is somebody that they likely knew?
I really don't want to speculate on this. Right now, students want answers, and all of us are very heartbroken, scared, and emotional during this time. But I can't speculate as to what happened. All we can do as a student body is hope and pray that the authorities make some quick discoveries and bring somebody to justice.
Absolutely. Madison, in the beginning, the police said that they believed it was a act of passion or a targeted account and that other people didn't have to be concerned. How do you feel about that now?
I fully trust what the Moscow PD and what the university are saying about our safety within the community and on campus. I do know that students are facing imminent fear right now and are fleeing campus because of that. As Tanner said, I hope that we come to a quick discovery and are able to bring someone to justice.
It's horrible. And we all feel for all of you and your community at the University of Idaho. Thank you both for being here. Come back if there's more to say. Good to have.
Well, there are bigger people than I am, because if that was my friend, I'd be speculating all day long. I would say, this is what I think. But then again, I probably wasn't supposed to be. Maybe that's why I'm over here and they're over there and they're on TV. I'm just saying, because I don't know. They must have really been talked to before they went in there, because they were like, we would never want to say anything, which I understand that. But me, I would have been like, nope, my friends, this is what happened. I think I can go back right. Oh, I just went on the wrong page. Let's see if I can find it.
To get that high quality.
Sorry guys, let me close this. Okay. I was just gonna see where it said it. Yeah, it just says right here, a friend of some of the victims of the tragic University of Idaho murders revealed to Fox News that many times a main door to the home was not normally code locked and that many guests came and went freely. And then I also read it down here, I believe. It says Fitzgerald said that the cellar door, one of the two main entry points, was frequently used to enter the home. And the cellar door is the one that she's speaking of. It's not really a cellar. It's like the basement door, I guess the first level door. But when I think of cellar door, I think of the two doors that open up in a basement. So that I wouldn't call that a cellar door. Exactly. Yeah. No one just walks in and leaves the door. But I don't think he left the door open when he walked in. I think he left the door open when he walked out. Some friends, they are withholding information. Yeah. I'd be locked up. I'd be locked up because I love talking. Me too. I would be like, this is what I think happened. My boyfriend called me Detective Tanya earlier, so that's my new badge. I guess that's my new name. Thought it was kind of funny. I'm like, well, just put me on the case and it'd be all right. He could have been on the way out and in a hurry. Maybe he thought the door closed, but it didn't latch and came open. It could happen. Yeah, that's definitely what I think would happen. I think that because another thing before I forget too, I was thinking of the back door. Okay. That back door is, and the front is lit up too, but that back is lit up like a Christmas tree on steroids. It is wrapped, and then around the corner, it's pretty lit up. And that trash, all of that trash. Okay, the trash can. I think I have a picture of it. I don't know if I have one like right up on it. No, I don't. But that trash and everything is like piled up and it's like strewn about. He didn't trip over any of that. He didn't knock any of that over. He didn't like trace any mud through any of that. Like there's white plastic bags over there. Like, I don't know. None of that had blood on it where you can see, if you can see blood coming out of the house, pouring down the wall, then you should be able to see a trail of him going somewhere. I don't know. I don't think that I'm stuck on it. Do they mean wide open in terms of unlocked? Yeah, they mean like the door was open. Like it was open. Like the door was actually open with no screen. Like the door was pulled, like the door was open, like ajar, like somebody had left it open. Yeah, but the lights aren't out in the back. They always have those lights lit up. They left those lights, those Christmas string lights, they left them on purpose. They left the house exactly the way it was. They said that, like, when they actually came to the scene, like those lights are on a timer, I think. Or they're just automatically plugged in, because I saw where they're plugged in. I didn't see a timer, but I did see where they were just plugged in. So they could be like all day. They could have just plugged them in and just left them on all the time. And I can find a picture of it. I was looking at it the other day and I was like, man, that's pretty bright. But if you go in the front door and then you go back around the house, that backside does stay, like by the tree line, that does stay very dark. So let's see if I can pull up a picture. Oh, I'm on the real estate side. I need a night picture. These are like all during the day. Okay. Trying to find one at night. Are you kidding? Like a pretty decent one. I had one up on my let me see. I had one in my bookmarks.
You're looking at
Sorry.
the next video.
Okay. I'll have to find one for you guys here in a minute. I'll maybe when we're watching like another video or something. But it does have like the little Christmassy light. I'm gonna see what I already showed you guys. I'll show you this again, because that would have been good. See. So yeah, so they said that they left the door, that PIN code. I wonder, I don't know how those work. Maybe the PIN code was broken, but whatever the case may be, that should have been fixed. Like, and I'm gonna go back to this again and say, why wasn't that fixed when Xana's dad was there fixing locks the weekend or the week before? Also, if the back door is held up by those chairs, if that's supposed to be the officer's way of holding that door shut and everyone's way of holding the door shut, why didn't he fix the locks on the back door when he was there that weekend before? And if the chairs were there to keep the door closed, then the chairs were there to keep the burglar out. Because the people would have had to come in the door, put the chairs up behind the door to keep the door closed, like Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, Ethan, and the girls downstairs. Everybody would have to be in, and those chairs would have to be sat there. If you guys are just now joining us, welcome to the channel. We are a true crime channel here. We're talking about the Idaho 4 massacre and why I think the killer entered and exited the front door. We are going over right now. I'm just going to give everyone a little update. We're just going over right now how the front door was left open. And we had known this from previous interviews, but we just went through a couple more interviews. And then her a couple of the friends of the deceased victims came forward and said that the PIN code and the lock that everybody used and the door they used to enter was that basement cellar door, and that the PIN code didn't work. It worked. It may have worked, but everybody was able to access it freely without having to use the PIN code per se. An FBI profile and his wife went to the house at night and you couldn't see anything in the back. Oh, I wonder if I could find that. Because I could see it on the side, on the back side, but on the back where the actual door is, it's lit up. Let me see here. Let me find one real quick. Okay, this is going to have to be here. Here we go. I don't know if that's going to play a video.
In need of a Christmas gift idea?
Trying to find. Here's this one here. Now it is dark up until you, but when you come up on that porch, like it's bright. I just don't see somebody risking it if they know they can get in the front door. Oops. Let me share that with you guys. I wish I could blow it up more, but I can't. But you guys could see it like right here. Maybe I can. No, yeah, I can. And the lights go around like the corner too. I just think this would be so lit up right here. I always locked, Aaron McAdams said at Lady Justice, I always locked my room because we had a party house and I didn't want anyone stumbling in. That makes sense. I would just lock my door in general because like that shit's scary. If you have 2 broken locks, okay, so back door, we all saw the pictures. We've all seen the pictures. I posted them and I can put them up if we need to. Those 2 chairs, you know, holding that back door closed. So if that door was broke, the lock was broke, let's say. And the lock in the front of the house is broke, which is the front of the house. This is an old bad picture, but this is what it looks like. Like this is just a really old bad picture because, you know, I was looking at this stuff I was looking at another website. But yeah, so that's like the front and then that's the back. So if these 2 doors are they both have broken locks, then why isn't Xana's dad fixing these broken locks when he's there? I would say, Xana, your bedroom can wait. Your bedroom can wait, Xana. I would say if I was her dad, I'm going to fix the front lock and the back door lock because I don't want somebody coming all up in your house. Forget coming up in your room. Do you know what I mean? Like there's more of a threat outside than her roommates are or whatever inside. I don't know. It's crazy to me. I always locked my doors. I don't see Maddie or Kaylee locking their doors. I don't know why. And I think it's mostly because they kind of had that top 3rd floor to themselves. Where I don't think that they really, and you know, I don't think that night that they were thinking to lock their doors. Xana, Ethan, I'm not sure on that if they thought to lock their doors. But I was looking up actually an interview. Shoot, where was that? Somebody was saying that, let me see. I wanted to show you another one too, but let me show you this first. Because this will like kind of debunk something else too, maybe. Well, let's go to that. Sorry. Okay, so let's see.
now that they're two. You know, we've gone from 3 to 2.
Someone was saying something. I'm just going to listen to this really quick. Sorry, guys.
I mean, everybody knew them. All of the kids were just really good, great kids. So, I mean, the light of the school, I mean, everybody knew them.
Sorry, I was just looking for something. I guess that did you guys know that I was trying to look at this interview? We might have to watch it again. We just share this. Now, have you guys seen this interview? You've seen this with with Ethan's parents, right? Well, you know how everybody's been saying that they thought that they found like that Ethan was found, like that he was found like encountering the murderer or something like that, and that's how he ended up passing away. And I didn't think that. I've been telling you guys. I think that Ethan was. Unfortunately, I think Ethan was killed first because he is the man and he was the most of a threat. And I think that he got a fatal wound. I'm pretty sure one of the first wounds were fatal. And that's what awoke Xana. And that's why she had defensive wounds, because that's what woke her up. But I just got a Reddit notification and it said that they just watched the interview with his parents. Let me see when this was done. It said 11:05, so yeah, that's right. And it says at the 10-minute mark, his mom confirms Xana and Ethan's girlfriend, and then says they were in the same room. So that person was just trying to put to rest all the speculation of Ethan encountering the murderer and eventually being found in the hallway, kitchen, etc. Right? But because I don't believe that Ethan was found in those places. I think he was first. So I saw that Reddit post come up. So I was trying to find it on this. I was trying to find the interview so that way we could like listen to it. But they said it was the 10-minute mark. But this is like only 10 minutes and 20 seconds. So I'll start it at the 10-minute mark, and if not, we'll just go back and maybe watch it.
So, I mean, the light of the school, I mean, everybody knew them.
One of them, I believe, was his girlfriend was also killed. Is that correct?
Yes, Xana. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were in the same room.
And I think that's all the questions I have, but I really do appreciate you guys sharing more about Ethan so we can understand more.
So, yeah. So I guess they were in the same room. I thought I heard that somewhere. I think there's just so much information being pumped at everybody every day that it's hard to remember what you've heard that was true and what is not true. Lady Justice says, I probably would have forgotten when I was in my 20s, but I'm older now and I try to be safer. Oh, me too, girl. Oh my gosh. I am like safety police. I am. So, the landlord. Okay. So the landlord. Okay. Landlords. They're terrible. I'm sorry, but the maintenance people are terrible. I have lived in this apartment for 6 years, going on 7. And we still have the same problems that we moved in with. They will send somebody up once a year. We'll call, we'll text, we'll write, and the guy won't fix it. It's an easy fix. Just a piece of wood. Just a piece of wood. I could do it if they just give me the piece of wood. But they'll come in and they'll look at it and they'll grunt a little bit and then they'll say they'll be back with stuff to fix it, and then they just never come back. So then I don't ever want to see them again, because I'm mad at them. And then it's a whole thing. And then I get mad, a year later again, I think of it and I write them again. It's been going on for 7 years now. It's lovely. But yeah, landlords are just not the greatest at doing that kind of stuff. It would technically be the landlord's job to do that. But I mean, if that was my dad, my dad would say, what's your landlord's phone number? Actually, he would just change the locks. He wouldn't even care what the landlord said. But if the landlord said something to my dad would have been like, well, you should have went and fixed her locks. I don't know. My dad would have been like, they were messed up. I fixed them. I don't know, point blank period. Just one of those kind of things. That's my kid. Or he would have called him and been like, come over here and fix my daughter's locks before I go down to, you know, Ace Hardware and I go buy some stuff and I fix them for her. The landlord lives in Colorado. Oh, but you know, he had maintenance people do his odd jobs. Oh yeah, he had people. You know, he had some. He probably had people that they didn't want in there. I think he said he didn't need to go upstairs because the dad knows the killer entered from the level the girls were sleeping on. He didn't need to go upstairs. No, he said he did. Zaina's dad, or I'm sorry, Kaylee's dad said he didn't need to go upstairs because he was on the second floor, and I think he was saying that if Kaylee or Maddie were not the intended target, there was no need for him to go upstairs. If Zaina or Ethan were the intended target, or if Dylan or, you know, I can't think of the other girl's name right now off the top of my head. The two are surviving roommates. You know, if it was one of them girls, then he wouldn't have had to go upstairs. Zaina obviously complained to her dad, and the dad must have said it's a 5-minute job and offered to do it. Yeah, that's what I think it was too. But I think that she should have told him, like, hey, the back door, hey, the front door. Maybe she didn't want to bother him with that stuff, or maybe they liked it that the PIN code was broke. It was maybe easier for them to get their friends to, you know, into the house to have like tell them all the time that the PIN number. I'm not sure. I just think it's really strange. It's extremely strange. Thanks, Joanna. I'm trying here. I was like, I'm going to try to explain this as good as I can, because I just feel like it makes sense, but I don't know. There are laws on how many days the landlord would legally need to attend to the problem. Yeah, I know that there are. But there's only certain things that are like I don't know what that would, I don't know if you have like that, you might get like a year to do that. I don't even know. Like, I'm not going to say, I'm kidding. It's not that long, but you know what I mean? It's not like it's heat or it's a busted water pipe. Those are things that they have to, by law, come up and like fix for you right away. A lock should be one of those, but that's not going to be probably it. The cops would probably just say the same thing. Well, why didn't you just go fix it yourself? Well, it's not my responsibility to. But in the same token, it's like, you know, do you want to leave something unlocked? You know, I don't know. They should be fixing it. You're right. They should be, but you know how that goes. Okay, so I'm gonna just bookmark that so I have it. And then, yeah, that's a really ugly picture of the house. I was trying to find pictures of the house to show you guys, but these ones were better. So I'll show you these two. And I'm going to do my best to explain them as much as I can. Oh, I would definitely be calling my dad. Yeah, I would be like, Dad, help me out. Actually, well, no, I probably would have called my dad, but he would have been like, Tanya Nicole. He would have said, you know how to change a lock. I taught you how to do that. Why couldn't the girls fix it? I didn't even see your comment until I just said that. That's my dad would have been like, I would have fixed mine. My was 19. My dad was still around. Like he was still alive, but I would call my dad, and then my dad would be like, that's an easy fix. You know, you could do it. And then I would be like, you can do it. But yeah, same way. So this right here is the kitchen area that they have. This kind of shows you how big the house actually is. Like what you have to walk through to get to certain points in the house is kind of what I wanted to show you. So there's the kitchen. And then if you just are like walking through, that's how you would be walking like through, and you go around the corner here. And then this is the back slider door. And then that's the cabinet right there, which I always, when I saw this photo, I always thought maybe, and I have no proof of this at all. So that I take this with a huge grain of salt. But if the dog was kenneled, Murphy was kenneled instead of just put in a room. If the dog was kenneled, when I saw this, that's where I would have put a kennel for a dog. I don't know why. When I first saw that picture a long time ago, I thought that. Then this is Maddie's room or Kaylee's room, sorry. And then that's another picture of it. And then the bathroom that they share on the 3rd floor. I believe that's the 3rd floor bathroom. I'm not 100% on that. So don't quote me on that. Actually, yeah, don't quote me on that because I'm not sure if this is a window or not. And then that's just another bedroom. And I think, I'm not sure which one that one might be the other one on the 3rd floor. Has different flooring. It shouldn't be the same. This one is in the basement. So when you walk in the first set of doors, like on the basement floor, you know, the cellar door, that's what they're calling it. If you walk in the cellar door, this is to your right. This is the immediate right. Hyundai, I'm wondering about that. Yeah, we were talking about that on my live earlier. They haven't really said much about it other than they're looking for it. I don't think it's the killer. I don't think personally he drove off, and I don't think he had a getaway driver, but I think maybe somebody in the area could have seen something that could be really helpful to the investigation. Or, I mean, they could have driven. Oh gosh, you have the same Honda in your driveway. You're like, it's not me. Exactly. If you've never been in it, it's very hard to navigate it. Yeah. So that's why I was trying to help you guys navigate it, but it's not really in like the photos aren't really like in order. But I was just going to tell you where everything kind of was on which floor. So the washer and the dryer is on the 1st floor. This is going to be coming up. That was the 3rd story. It looks like the 3rd story bathroom there. They do just have different flooring in there. Strange, but you know, had that. I wonder if that was the 2nd room on the, or no, that's on the, that was the other bedroom on the 3rd floor. And then, okay, so this is what I wanted to show you kind of. This is the stairs coming upward. So this was the picture I was trying to show you guys. Because I want to try to like help you guys see what I see. So if you go down these stairs right here, that's where the 1st story door is. This right here is their living room. And then right here, if you go back this hallway, right here where my arrow is, you go back that hallway, which I don't think you guys can see my arrow on here. But then you'll go like right, if you go around the staircase, you know, the hallway right there where the light is, that's where Zena and Ethan were sleeping. I wish this little mouse would like point at the screen. That sucks that it doesn't. Because I thought it did, because that would help me. That would help me out. But anyway, yeah. So there's the stairs, and then there's the first, you know, bedroom on the 2nd story. And then if you go around, you know, if you go up the stairs, and instead of going around that corner, and you just go straight through this, you know, door frame over here to the left, there's a door frame right there that will lead you into the kitchen. Yeah, I always said that they needed to clean the floors because on another, like, there's another picture. It looks kind of dirty. Let me see if I can find it. It's on here. Yeah, see right here. So this is the living room, and then right here, this is the door frame I was talking about. This is going to go into like the kitchen area and stuff. And then if we go back, see, then this way goes to Ethan's room. Or I'm sorry, Zena's. Yeah. Oh, you did. Oh, so you knew someone that lived there. I'm good at knowing house layouts for the most part because my brother, my dad, my uncle, they all built homes. And my dad built like $1 million homes. He built like huge homes. But and then my brother's a welder still. They're all still into like carpentry and stuff and blueprints. That's all we used to see. And then my friend, her dad growing up built houses as well. So Even when there's like no walls in a house, I can tell what it's going to look like, you know, when it's going to be done. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys those. There might be another, maybe some more in here that we could. That's the second story balcony, or third story, I'm sorry. And then it just went back to the, the beginning. So he could have been even up in here, went around the front like this way. That's what I think. That's what I think. I think he was back in this area and he went around to the front that way. And then I was going to go ahead and I'm going to play this because I wanted to see if she could explain it a little bit better too. I'm going to play this video really quick and then talk about it. Oh yeah, the attic space. Yeah, so I was wondering about the attic space. They don't have a basement, but they may have a crawl space. No, a neighbor never heard the scream, Joanne. Okay, so on my video, my last live, we went over that. That's all a line of baloney. It's bullcrap. It was a YouTube creator took that clip from a supposed DV that was going on between a woman and a man. The stop one, you know, stop, don't like, what did she say exactly? I have it written down because I quoted it. Said something like, I have too many notes, guys. But she was saying something. She said like, stop, you know, don't do that or whatever it was. But no, that guy, there was a YouTube creator. Let me find where that paper went. Oh, here it is. Okay. So there was a YouTube creator by the name of Joseph Morris. And this isn't the first time that he's done this with a video. This is like the 15th time. This guy has 242,000 subscribers. YouTube gave him a play button. And the dude goes around and I guess just makes up fake audio, fake videos of different crime scenes, different people. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. There's no other word for that in my mind. And I mean, you know, her family's watching these channels. It's bad. That's bad. But he did it. And earlier in this live, we found out that he was on a phone call and it was recorded. And he said that he does it because he loves it. So take that for what it is. There was a lot of creators that came out and ran with that. I didn't come out with a live last night for that. I knew it was fake. I could tell it was fake as soon as I heard it. I was like, there is no way inhumanly possible in the world. Because in my mind, I'm still thinking, you're not going to be screaming like that. You're going to be saving your energy. You're fighting for your life. And you're not going to be able to hear that like that. I don't know. But I mean, there was some people that ran. I mean, I even was telling you guys earlier, Harsh Reality came out with a video this morning. He titled it, "Oh my God," with bomb emojis. Was this Kylie? Who really heard it? And in the video, he said twice that it sounded like Kylie. Kaylee. I'm so sorry. I said Kylie like 4 times because I'm thinking of him and then Kylie, the Kylie case. But yeah, Kaylee. He said that it sounded like Kaylee in his video like 2 or 3 times. I was like, you've got to be kidding me right now. If her family's hearing this, they've got to be shitting bricks. No other word for it. That's why I tell you guys, if I'm murdered, if someone murders me or anything, just tell them no, it didn't happen to her. That wasn't that YouTube creator. And then somebody just come over here and get on this mic and be me for a little while because I don't want it. You know, it's bad. And then another creator came out today and was saying that Jack D is involved and that all of her creators, all of her subs should just go after him and do whatever. And I'm just like, what are you guys saying? Like, that's just so wrong. It's just so wrong. So I had to So that's why I came out and did my live earlier today too, because I wanted to debunk a couple things and just try to like put some stuff to rest because it was bad. Like people were running with that as content today, that it was real. Ikamel, the creator Ikamel, if you've never checked out his channel, he's really good. He's the one that debunked it. And if you watch his video, it's only like a 12-minute video. Him and his subs, I think it was his subscribers helped him like debunk it. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, you know? And like, I just feel bad for her family. Like her family does not need that. That's like the last thing that her family needs. And, you know, like we already have a bad rep in this, the true crime community. And then you got JLR pointing out wrong white vehicles yesterday or day before yesterday, pointing out Toyotas, saying that they are Elantras. I mean, it's like, what is this world coming to? What is this world coming to, guys? It's so bad. It is like so bad. Yeah, one of the subs did. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's really awesome. Well, I know all of you guys are awesome about giving me information when you have it. Like you guys are on it, on my email all the time. You're like, here you go, girl. You need this. Have you seen this? There will be times that because I'm always on YouTube. If I'm awake, I'm on YouTube more than likely. And that's probably I probably shouldn't admit that, but yeah, it's bad. But there was times like the cases were like coming fast with so much information so quick that I couldn't even take a shower without coming out of the shower and having like an email saying, have you seen this? And I'm like, wait, no, I haven't. And I just took a shower. Like it was literally like, you know, you guys are so good. And that's what I love about you guys. One of the things that I love about you guys. So I want to play this for you. So this maybe will give us all a better understanding of how the house is kind of, you know, laid out.
I'm just going to ask you to sort of add to the joining in the host.
Also, Miss Banfield, I love her. Okay, you know I love her. She's like my favorite. But someone get her another shirt. I've only seen her out of this top once, and it was when she was in her house videotaping. Did you see the comment about Kaylee would have graduated? Yes, I did. I knew it was this weekend. I didn't realize it was today because my days are off this week, like really bad. And I said it in my live today. I said, well, she would have graduated this weekend. So yeah, she would have graduated. And it's sad. When I saw someone said something about it, I think earlier on YouTube, it was a news program and they showed her TikTok of her dancing like with the dog and like saying like, you know, she would have graduated today. And that's just like, I was burst into tears. Like really, I mean, this stuff gets me. And I don't get like this. Like I don't get like upset. Yeah, JLR is a disaster. So I'm gonna start doing some funny content for you guys. I'm gonna have to start doing some funny shorts because his camera angles are the craziest I've ever seen. Like they're for dramatic, I guess, effect. But I'm gonna make them even more dramatic. You know, like extra dramatic. Oh yeah, so I saw that too. Someone was saying that yeah, someone put oh yeah, that's what it was. Rebecca. Yeah, someone put thought into this kill, and I'm not understanding sloppy. Laugh a lot. I'm seeing a thought out plan. I don't know. Yeah, no, me too. I'm seeing like he had a plan, and that's why I think this is how the murders went down. You know, and that's why I think he went in the front door. So I'm going to show you this video, and then I do actually have like a little better images to show you, and then I'm going to tell you why I think that. Let's see here. I'm like, what do I need to do, guys?
Host of Idaho Matters on Boise State Public Radio News. Gemma, thank you so much for being here. I'm just going to ask you to sort of add to the narrative that we've been working on for the last 13 minutes. Do you have any new information or anything that sort of stood out from the other details that we've learned in the case so far?
You know, Ashley, I think that's part of the issue, right? Is that we are all sitting here wondering what new information is there? Is there something that police know that maybe they're not sharing? And with that being said, the last thing we want to do is impede an investigation. I don't like calling them children, but they certainly feel like children lost their lives. And it is something that has been impacting Idaho. And I think one of the things that stands out to me, and sometimes we forget about, is how small Idaho is. Idaho is small. We are very connected, and the University of Idaho is even smaller. And everyone knows someone who is somehow connected to this. And it is heartbreaking.
It is. And I'll tell you what, I'm just going to go on record. There are going to be 4 Thanksgiving tables where some parents won't have their children because of this. So they are someone's children. You know, Gemma, this is a fascinating fact that I discovered right before air, and that is that your husband had friends who actually lived in that home, and that he was able to give you a description that those 2 basement bedrooms were once a separate apartment unit. And I'm curious to know if your husband knew if there was an additional door that locked away from the upper floors, meaning when you walk in that front door and you turn and you go up the stairs to the 2nd story, is there a door that could be locked that may have protected the 2 girls living in those bedrooms downstairs from the horrors that we're having upstairs?
Well, let me clarify something. So yes, when my husband was in law school at the University of Idaho many years ago, he actually lived in a home that you see in some of those pictures, and a friend of ours did live in that actual home. There was not a bottom floor apartment. In fact, it was just the first 2 levels of that home. Since then, that entire backside, that when you see the big picture of the home, has been completely added. So there were 2 bedrooms on the lower floor. That front door that you see that has the keypad, that's where the door was. So not a separate apartment, but definitely a big, huge addition, as you just saw, has been added in those 25 plus years.
And you're saying that addition is this back area, the 3rd floor that rises up from the sliding glass door in the kitchen on the bottom level there, and then the sliding glass door in Kaylee's room, which is on the 3rd floor. It's that back part that you're saying was brand new.
So my understanding actually is it's that entire back part. So it's even where that back patio is and where the deck is. All of that has been added on in 25 years. So the home has gone from a 2-bedroom home to that big 6-bedroom home.
Yeah, it crossed my mind that if there was a separate apartment, like perhaps there might have been a lock that still remained this many years later that may have been what protected the girls downstairs. Or maybe it was just that it didn't cross the killer's mind that was a basement that was actually occupied by bedrooms. Maybe they just thought living room, bedrooms, and an upstairs, and that was the crime of opportunity. Gemma Gaudette, I hope you'll come back on the program.
Okay, so that was the last one I wanted to show you. I wish I had a, let me see if I can get it. Let me check really quick and see if I can. If I click on this. Let me see if I can blow this up for you guys a little bit. That's good enough. So how's everybody doing out there so far? Is everybody so far so good? I haven't been in the chat in a minute. Sorry, guys. I need to grab a pillow, put it behind me. I wonder if the parents could sue the landlord for not fixing the locks. I would be suing everybody I could. I mean, that's, yeah, I mean, especially, I want to know when those chairs were set at that back door. I know I've been talking about this for a month, but my question has not been answered. We also didn't have locks on our doors in college apartments that led me to believe something was going on prior, maybe. See, but I think that is just like more of a safety thing. I don't know if Xana I don't know if she put, okay, so either she put her lock on her door in order to keep her roommates out, because let's say like they were maybe taking her things and she didn't want them using her things or something, or she wanted a little privacy, or she wanted a little privacy for her and her boyfriend, her and her boo thing. You know, maybe her and Ethan would like to go in there and like hang out at night, you know, and there's like parties going on and they didn't want to be bothered. And so they wanted the lock fixed. Maybe some kid had broke the lock at a rowdy party one night or something, you know, ran into the doorknob or something. I don't know. Yeah, those chairs were strange. The chairs are just, I can't get over it because they were like just the way they were sat. Officers don't do that to lock a door. Like they would have put in a bar, they would have put in something. They had officers already camped out there. All the officers ever do in a crime scene is tape up a door, tape. And if somebody goes through that tape, then that's on them. They're going to get in a lot of trouble. That's why it's called crime scene tape. You know, like it says crime scene or something, do not cross or something like along those lines. So it's supposed to be a deterrent. You know, it's red, but I just want to know. Hanging out isn't what I call it. Yeah, I want to know where, like, I want to know when those chairs were sat up or when that picture was taken. Because even the ones, I believe the ones with the drone are the ones that I took those pictures off of. And that was like the first couple of days. So it's just so strange to me. I'm just so perplexed by that. Hello, Leo girl. Oh, you've been sleeping with the light on, Lady Justice. Oh gosh, guys. I always sleep with the TV on though. I can't say nothing. So I don't know, but when I was in college, most college kids can sleep through anything. Normally, you know, if wherever you fall is where you sleep, and you just like whatever. But not me. I always had to sleep in like pitch black, nothing with the fan on. But now I'm a TV person. Were the stools? Yeah, the stools. Like we're wondering why those. Yeah, I'm talking about them stools. I was like, I'm still talking about them stools. But I'm gonna get to the bottom of that. I'm actually going to write that down because that was one of the questions I had. Like a thing up, an email. I was going to try to email, you know, Moscow PD and see if they would just answer a question or a couple. And then that was one of the ones I wanted to ask them, but I couldn't remember the question that was so important I wanted to ask. And I didn't want to reach out and say, hey, can you answer one question for me? And then be like, yeah, what's your one question? And I'm like, oh, and you know, it's not the one I wanted to ask. But I mean, maybe they'll answer it for me. I mean, hell, a lady snuck into the press conference a couple weeks ago, and she wasn't even a news outlet, and it was only for news. So I thought maybe if I write them and be nice, they'll do it for me. So let me go back up here and read some of your chats here. Let's see. So I think, well, I think that they thought that the chairs were going to keep people out, or I think that they thought they would at least be a deterrent. They didn't do a very good job because normally when you have, if you're on a first story, if you have a first story apartment and you have a back door like that, either if it's a balcony or a porch that goes out onto it, those doors, those sliding glass doors in the middle of them, they will have one of those bars that come down. Those things are made. I mean, a 2-year-old could bend those things and break them. Like those things they're made so cheaply made that most people will put like a baseball bat or a stick of some sort, like bamboo or stick or something like that. They'll put that in the track. That way people can't open that door. It's just something for it to latch onto. Those metal chairs would have been kind of perfect if they were mashed in there the right way. And they did. They had 2 of them. So they had one going one way, one going the other way. That way they were interlocked and weaved together. And so I think that they thought in their minds, they thought that they were, you know, locking the house up tight as could be, you know, safety. Like that's the Brinks. The Brinks is on for the night, guys. ADT. I just don't understand why, if like Zaina's dad came through that back door, if he saw that back door at any point in that time of him being there, why he didn't say like, I'm not blaming him at all. I don't want anyone to think I'm blaming him at all. Cause I'm not at all. But I would just think as a dad, you'd be like, hold on a second, honey. Let me fix that door for you. So that's why I'm wondering why, you know, maybe Ellie did do something with the door. I mean, you know, but But I can't see law enforcement. Yeah. They don't. Yeah. Why were they scared? Marilyn said she took the words out of my mouth. I can't see LE doing that with those stools. Looks like they wanted to prevent entrance. And why were they scared? Yeah, it was something like that. It was either they were scared or, and then so that gives me. So if the chairs were there, let's say that, let's just play devil's advocate for a minute with me. Let's just say that those chairs were there when the cops showed up that day. And they were placed there by Ethan, Zaina, Maddie, or Kaylee. Then that means that he had to have come in the front door. There's no other point of entry. Because you can't break the chairs and then bend them back and put them back and make them nice again and just walk out. You know what I mean? And you can't teleport through the glass. So I don't know. Why weren't there a security system? I don't know. There should have been. You would think with all of the stuff that they have out now, like, all of the, the doorbell cams, the cameras that you don't even need a battery, or you just need a battery. They're battery operated. You don't even have to run electric. You just smack that thing right on the side of the building. Velcro. You know what I mean? I don't understand that. But maybe it's because I'm older. Maybe maybe in my 20s, I would have had more of a sense of, I would have just been secure and just thought. But in that second interview with her friends, she did say, the friend said, that's friends with all of the girls, said she wasn't aware of where the two surviving roommates slept. But she said that they all did come in that cellar door. That key fob or that key lock didn't work. So yeah, a Ring camera. I've got a Ring camera and I live inside a building. You need to come in a locked door just to even see me. Like 2 locked doors just to get to me. And a camera. 2 cameras. I'm just like, I'm all securityed up here. But that's just, I feel safe like that. I feel safer. And plus, like, we always get deliveries and stuff here. I just, I don't like to see people. Oh, you don't have a complex? I'm have a complex, she said. It's always good to have one. I have like a little Blink one for inside, and it's really nice. Yeah, see, my apartment, you don't need a passcode. You need an actual like key because it's like older here. But people can ring in, but see right here. Joanne said, right again, my backsliding door latch is broken, so there's a long piece of timber cut to size or a broom handle. Yeah, a broom handle. That's a good one. Yeah, because my parents, like, we lived in an apartment growing up. So, and back then, like, they were, my parents didn't have money when I was younger and stuff whenever we were growing up. So it was always broke. That little thing was the apartment we lived in. It was broke probably before we moved in there. And my parents would put some sort of, it might have been a broom handle, actually. It was something of that sort in there. And it was just, and it just was out of security. And then I never had a door like that until now, but I live on the 2nd story. And I mean, if they want to come up, they can come on up. The door locks though. And our door's a huge metal door. Oh, you ain't coming in nothing. It's too heavy. Oh, you have them for your Cape House because we are only there maybe once a month. Oh. Yeah, you always want to make sure that you have like some sort of, security. But I'm just so curious. But let's see here. What else did I want to show you guys? I'm going to check with Twitter one more time, see what's going on in Twitter land. See if anything happened. I'm not seeing anything really. So hopefully the cops are working hard with this. I don't know what. I don't get that. Never mind. I thought I was going to show you that, but I thought it was something important, but it's not. So, okay. So then I'm going to show you. Let's see. I have like so many tabs open. I think that I can close most of these. Okay. I've never had a front door key from my house. Oh my gosh, Aaron. That's bad. Well, my parents we never used to lock our house door growing up. From the time I'm 37, I just turned 37. Just to make that clear. From the time that I was 9 until probably like 20, 18, something like that. Actually, maybe I was younger. I'm gonna say 16. I'm gonna say when the World Trade Center collapsed. That's when we start locking our door. That was probably about the time. Because yeah, I'm thinking that because I had to have been because my dad, I could see that being about the time. No, it's okay. Change the subject. She said I didn't play my pick four numbers. Last number came up, would have won. Oh, 12.50 cents. It came up again last night, 400, then pick three came in. I used to play. Oh man, you need to play. Oh, Cheryl, my mom was about your age when she passed, but it was 6 years ago, so that's why the time's different. She was 33 when she had me. Yeah, like we didn't lock. Yeah, like we didn't. Aaron said we didn't lock our house or cars until like 2006 or later. Yeah, that's. I want to say it might have even been more like 2006 or 2008. Or no, because I would have been 22 then. So it had to been. I had to been younger, so maybe more like 2001, like I was saying. Yeah, but see, that's what. And my parents. That's how my parents were, Cheryl. They were like that. They were 70s babies. My mom was in the 50s. My dad was, in the 60s. She was a little bit older than him. She was like 9 years older. But yeah, like they never worried about that. Plus, we always had cops living beside us. We had a cop beside us on both sides. We had a sheriff and like a statey on the other side. And then around the corner, we had like another statey. So it was just like, oh, I'm an 80s baby. But the 70s were probably a fun time. My brother was 70s, late 70s. He was 70s, 78 or something, I think. It does depend on where you live too, and kind of how you was like raised and stuff. If how you like how you were raised, where you live, that depends a lot. If your town's only had 3 murders in 30 years. Wow. The town I grew up in, I need to do a story on them. There was, I believe it was 8 women came up missing and then later on found dead along sandbars in my hometown. And this was after I moved out of that town, way after. This probably happened 6, 7 years ago, maybe. I might have to do a story on that, actually. They never found out who did it. I was in my late 20s in the 70s. Great times. Oh, I bet that would have been great times to be in your 20s and in the 70s. Everything just comes back around. It really does. It all comes back around. My dad made my mom throw out all of her like 70s clothes because he said, like, you're not going to need them anymore, babe. Like, how it was back then. Like, she was getting married. I don't know. It was like the early 90s when they got married. So she was like, I didn't need them anymore. But then it came right back around. And I was like, Mom. And then my parents were like laughing at me because I was in my teenage years and I liked like the bell bottom pants, kind of like and they're back now. Like the boot cut and then like the bell bottom type of pants, they're back with a vengeance. I'm not doing it again. I am not going and doing it. But I also said I wasn't going to do wide leg jeans and here we are. So. But everything comes back around. So, okay, I'm going to show you guys this first floor and then second floor and then third floor. And these are like a little bit easier to understand while we're talking on you. I'll just show them to you really quick and then. So, this is how I think that it happened. So I think that he came into the first floor by this door right here where the red dot is. And I really wish you could see my little cursor, but you can't. So I'm going to have you guys just with me. But I think he went up the stairs and he came around to bedroom B first. And then if we go to the second picture, I'm sorry, not bedroom B. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to repeat that. Okay. So bedroom A and bedroom B are the first floor bedrooms. So they're going to be on the first story where that back cellar door is where everybody came in through, they were saying, where, you know, the two surviving roommates were staying. And then in front of them was a bathroom and a laundry room and I believe a utility closet. So I believe that he came through the front door, through that cellar door, up the stairs. So when he came up the stairs, he's going to be looking, we're going to be right here then. So we're going to be in the living room. So when he came up through the bedroom, or I'm sorry, through the living room, he's going to go, I believe he went straight to bedroom D. When he hit bedroom D, I believe that's when he encountered Ethan and Zaina. And I believe that he took Ethan out first with like a fatal wound, or maybe not the first one, but the second one was fatal. And then I gave Zaina time to wake up, and that's why she had defensive wounds. Her dad said she had defensive wounds on her. So I think that's why she had them, because she literally had 2 seconds to like literally like think and try to get away. I think he then came out of bedroom D. He went up the stairs in the rear, so straight through the living room, went up the stairs to the rear, and then that brings you up to, the third floor. So you're going to come up here, and I believe that's when he went into bedroom E, and that's when he found the girls. Did that kind of make sense for you a little bit more? Hopefully it did. You guys are all talking about shoes and stuff. Oh, the fun time. I love high hair. I still would wear some high hair if I needed. Just kidding. I wish I had some volume though. I remember my grandmother bought me a tube top. Oh my God. I thought my dad was going to die. But she did. She bought me what makes you think the killer went in the front door first? I went over it like earlier in the live, but actually I've been going over it in my live since this case started. But I believe he came in the front door because we had heard from a couple of the roommates' friends that they used the front door entrance, that it was like that, which is really the bottom floor, the first door entrance, that they used that. And in fact, the keypad wasn't in working order, that anybody could use it. I've always thought that he came in the front door, and I think he left the front door. And so that's what I was just kind of going over. And so you can always watch it on replay too. And then I'll go back over it, I'm sure, before we get off of here, because I'm going to show you guys if he would have came in the back slider door, how it would have been. So if he would have came in the back slider door, he would have bypassed all of this. So he would have came in like through this slider door here. And I wish my cursor worked, guys. This sucks. But you know what I'm talking about. I think it is working a little bit, maybe. No, it's not. So he would come in the red slider door where it's the red circle is. This is if he came in the ground patio entrance, like that slider door. So if he got his way in, if those chairs were not there, if those 2 chairs that we saw in all the video clippings of the stools, if those were not there, placed there, and he was able to get in that slider door, he would have came in through the kitchen. He would have been in that. Actually, there's like a little room right there, with the cabinet. And then he would come in through the kitchen. He would have to go all the way around the kitchen, living room, the bathroom, and then he would have to make his way down the hallway on the other side of the first, the stairs case there to bedroom D. And then he would have to bypass bedroom C, knowing that nobody was staying there, or he looked in and nobody was in there. And he would bypass the third story stairs. So if his target was in fact Kaylee or Kylie and he came in the slider door, I don't know why he wouldn't just walk up the stairs the back way. Seeing how they were found all the way on the other side of the house from bedroom, from Ethan and Zaina. So then if he was in bedroom D on the second floor, after he was done with Ethan or Zaina, then he would have had to have gone up the stairs, or vice versa. He would have went up the stairs. He would have been in bedroom E first and then went back down the stairs, Ethan and Zaina's room. I know that's a lot. He was brazen. He was very, very comfortable in what he was doing. So Zaina, I don't believe she screamed loud because I think that would take too much energy. I think that I don't know though. I would think that if someone is stabbed beside you and you look over and you're waking up to that, I mean, maybe you could get out a scream. But I would think if you're fighting and you're fighting off somebody and you're constantly trying to fight that person off, you wouldn't want to waste screaming. I don't know. So I don't know. Like, I think that he was I think that her dad was saying that if Kylie or Maddie were the intended target. Like, I think he was thinking it more like if he was the killer and Ethan and Zaina were the intended target, he was saying it like he didn't need to go up the stairs. Like, he didn't need to go up the stairs to like Kaylee or Maddie if Zaina or Ethan were the target. I haven't heard anybody confirm that the slider door was the point of entry. But if you know of somewhere, let me know. What are you talking about, Scream? We already talked about Kathy, we already talked about that a long time ago. The Scream, yeah, we talked about that this morning, or this afternoon. And this night, and tonight, we went back over it earlier in the beginning of the live. That's what I'm thinking anyway, Crime Sleuth, and I don't know. I'm thinking like he was thinking in his head, like if Ethan and Zaina, or say Zaina was the target, he did like saying like he didn't need to go upstairs. Like, okay. Yeah, if you could tell me which interview, you could always. Oh, Kathy, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, the Scream. Oh, my lordy. Yeah. Yeah, that was, man. I don't even know how someone can do that. Like, think that. Like, I'm going to create a fake Scream that everyone thinks is real, but can easily probably be debunked somehow because web sleuths are on YouTube and I'm from YouTube. I don't know how he thought that was. I don't know how he thought he was going to get away with that. Because as soon as I heard the scream, I said, there's no way in this world. I said, there's no way. And then 4 weeks later, I was like, I don't believe it. I don't know. I just did it. It was too clear. Icamil, yeah. Icamil, some of his subscribers, I guess, had helped him and like gave him some like information, and he like did a whole video. He did a really good job on uncovering him. I guess this isn't his first rodeo. I didn't know the guy prior to this. I'm not a subscriber of his, so I wasn't aware of him, thank God. But well, actually, I think I knew about him yesterday. Yesterday was when I found out about him, yeah. And I'm just like, man, this guy is crack, like he's just, oh my gosh, he's He's bonkers. Like I was like, who does that to people? Like, because you know that the families are watching, you know that they might not be watching my channel, but they're watching these bigger channels, especially if you have 242,000 or something subscribers. They're definitely watching some channels like that. I just thought that was just so uncalled for. I just don't even know where you get in that mindset to do that. Like, did he think that it was going to, I mean, how much money can you really make off of one video on YouTube? Like, it's not enough to like do that to someone's family. Crazy to make him put that out. Just nuts. Perry, UK, true crime. Yeah, you're so right. Like, I try to like rationalize it. And I'm like, well, maybe. And I'm like, no, there's no maybe, nothing. I'm glad that the police made that statement. They came out and they pretty much were like, if you guys don't quit your shit, we're going to start arresting people. And I'm glad that they did that. I think that's like a good idea. If somebody maybe gets in trouble for it, like for like, especially when it's like that, like there's something it's different if you're speculating or something along those lines. But if you're like purposely hurting somebody for clicks and views, it's just so bad. Yeah, he was definitely looking for more clicks. He must have a high subscriber count, but his like views must not be very good or something along those lines. And all that information's out there. I mean, anybody can look up YouTube stats. It was funny that Ickamil just like busted him out. I actually watched the Ickamil video twice. And I've actually sponsored, I've said his name a lot in both of my videos, so I feel like I should sponsor Ickamil now. Like, he really did a good job. Oh, thank you. Yeah, because I wanted to know where he said that. Well, I guess, like, I mean, I don't know how her dad would really know that, though, for sure. I mean, he would know like certain things because they would tell him because, I mean, he would have seen the bodies at the, the morgue or wherever, or before they did the, I want to say burial, but that's not what they got done. Cremation, before they did the cremation. So yeah, he did something on the Gabby Petito case. And I heard about like 3 or 4 cases. Another good creator, Cinema Shogun, he did a video on him and showed Case Ickamel, like, doing like, saying what that guy had put out, that Joseph Morris guy had put out. And he said that it was like 3 or 4 cases. He was reading off all kinds. And I was just like, whoa. I was like, that it was a lot. I love Cinema Shogun too. I really do like him. He's a good creator and he puts out content pretty quick. And I like that about him. And he don't speculate too much. He pretty much does like a lot of fact-based stuff. That's what I like about him too. Yeah, because I don't think the police haven't put any of that information out yet. So I just wonder how, like, I'm going to have to write the police. I'm going to have to write them and be like, hey, can you just tell me about this back door? Because, I'm going crazy over here trying to, like, I mean, because even if the chairs, I mean, even if, like, I don't know, I just feel like then if he came in the back sliding door, this just doesn't make sense to me as a criminal, in a criminal element, okay? I'm not a criminal, you can look that up. Okay, but if I were a criminal, I would not think that I would go out a door, not the same, okay, I wouldn't run out the same door that I didn't come in. Like, if I came in one entrance, I would go out that same entrance because I know that it's available, it's open because I came in that way and there's nobody in my way. If you're taking a redirect out to the front door, then you're chancing a lot more. You're chancing so much more. That's why I don't believe that the killer came in the back door too. That's why I believe he came in the front door, because that front door was left open. The front code, everybody knew it. Actually, it didn't even work. It didn't even work. So you just walked in. And yeah, it's just, I don't know. But he could have came in. I mean, the only way that you would disrupt your course of what you're doing is if he heard something and that made him run out the front door. But the only people that could make a noise were the people on the first floor. Yeah, I would think like you would use the same door. That's what I would think. I mean, I don't know. I went to school for criminal justice and applied science. I don't, that doesn't mean anything here, but we used to have to do like all this kind of like accident reconstructive stuff, or like, you know, murders and houses. And like, I saw my boyfriend earlier. I was like, they gave us like a fingerprint kit and everything. I thought I was so cool to have that fingerprint kit. I used it like a total of 2 times, I think, for the whole school, for my whole 4 years. But I just feel like that would be the easiest way to do it. And you could be sneakier right there because you have the cover of the vehicles. You have the cover of like more darkness over there by the side of the house. If you're like going up on that road, that access road beside it. If you're looking at the front of the house, it's to the left. It's such an unnecessary thing to do as well. The case is big enough news. Yeah. And you would think that like, and Ekenville said this too, like you would think if he just made some regular content on the story that he would be, his channel would be fine. You know, like he would do okay. It's just, I don't know. I hope they don't try to plead insanity. I don't think you would be able to. You would have to be like, I don't know. Yeah, the back is very dark too, but the back also has all of those lights that are strung up, that are turned on, that are right in front of the door. So it lights up the whole door there. But you could definitely hide right in those bushes over there because it is really dark. Like those lights only go to like certain point and then they stop on the side of the house. Which I wonder if those are, I think that those stay on all the time. I think I've seen them on actually in the daylight. Like when we've seen pictures of the house. I'm not completely sure on that, but that's all I really had for you guys for tonight. That was what I had. I'm still stuck on the front door. Where, you know, I'm gonna have to just be like, okay, I need to get like Grizzly on this. Where's she at? I need to get her over here. Be like, what door did he come into? No, I just think the back, or I just think the front door. And now that I've seen that, like, what was it? This one here, like University of Idaho Victims Friend says dorm lock code wasn't usually activated. Like after seeing that interview too, it really made me think that it was. Okay, are you sending it through the email? Oh, I have to do my emails now. Okay, I didn't have my emails up for the longest time on my computer. Oh, and then oh yeah, we did show you. And then Ethan's parents, they actually did an interview. This was a while ago, but and we already played it on the channel tonight. That they did an interview where they said that Dana and Ethan were found in the same room. No, Kathy, I think that they said those lights. They said that those lights were on when they arrived there, and that they didn't turn off or turn on or turn off anything on the outside of the house. That it was all the original. Like they didn't tamper with it, like the crime scene. The officers did it. They said that they kept all the porch lights on and all the front lights on. Because the light even has, like the front even has, like the cellar door I'm talking about, it even has a light on. It's like an overhead light, I think, or maybe one beside it. Let me see if I can Maybe it's just taking a minute. Well, maybe. Well, I'm not getting it. Probably those lights are on. Oh, yeah. I already read that. Let me know when you send it, and I'll see if I can check it on here. And then, yeah, I'll keep checking my email. Oh, wait, there we go. I think it just came through. Okay, less than 2 minutes in. Okay. I'm wondering who told her father, though. Like, I know that a lot of his I know a lot of his information has been, right on. I'm not saying he's not. I just wonder where, like, who told him that. You know what I mean? Because he's also the one that he did tell us that, his daughter and Maddie were found together and everything. And so far, no one's came out and say that wasn't true. Okay. So you said about a couple minutes in. So I'm just going to play it for a couple minutes, and then that way we can hear it. I didn't know that he had said that. I think I'm still going to be on it, though. I'm so, stubborn. But let me hear him, because if he says it, he says it. This commercial is so forever long. There we go. Oh, here, hold on. Let me share it with you guys. I thought I was. I think it's this one. Yeah.
Officials are combing through thousands of tips, crime scene photos, and evidence.
The father of one of those victims, Kaylee Conclava, is now revealing the manner of death for his daughter and her friend Maddie were different, leading him to believe one of them may have been the target. The heartbroken dad, Steve Conclava, joins us now. Steve, before we start this interview, I just want you to know how much our hearts go out to you. That I know from what I'm hearing from people everywhere that they are with you, they're praying for you, and they're also hoping for justice to come sooner rather than later for your daughter and her friends. You mentioned here, you talked about the manner in which Kaylee and Maddie were killed is different. And
is it on there?
What does that tell you, and what are the police telling you?
Sorry,
that
guys.
means?
Let me pause it. It just stopped sharing with you. Let me see if that will fix it. Well, let me just remove it. Try it again.
A couple things that tell me with common sense that I'm not a professional, so I don't want to specify that, but they said the entry point was the slider or the window that was in the middle floor. So to me, it doesn't have to go upstairs. Is it entry and exit?
Well, I guess I did tell him that.
Upstairs or downstairs.
I want to know who told him. Wish they'd said.
Common sense. So I won't specify that, but they said the entry point was the slider or the window that was in the middle floor. So
It doesn't really make sense when he says. I'm sorry. No, I believe him when he says that. I'm just like, he just said something kind of weird. Because right here he says something about that tells me, in my opinion, in all honesty or something. But then he says something. He says, but the police told me. So I don't know what that meant. That's what I didn't get what that meant.
There's a couple things that tell me with common sense, but I'm not a
Like right there, he says that, but then he says, but I'm not a professional. And but then he says, the cops told me.
So I want to specify that, but they said the entry point was the slider or the window. It was in the middle floor. So to me, he doesn't have to go upstairs. His entry and exit are available without having to go upstairs or downstairs. Looks like he probably.
See, we're right there. Like, I know that's what I don't get either. Because her father also said, hold on. I just had it and then it just went out of my head. What was he saying?
Also, I want to specify that, but they said the entry point was the slider or the window. It was in the middle floor. So to me, he doesn't have to go upstairs. His entry and exit.
So he says that he doesn't have to go upstairs at his his exit, and his entrance was on the available to him either from the second floor or the first floor, right? Because he could either go and just stay on the second floor and kill Ethan and Zaina, or he could go downstairs and kill the other two surviving roommates. I think I keep getting my train of thought is keep messing up. Sorry guys, this case has got me 1-1. But with him saying that, it just gets, I don't know, I'm just so confused. Him saying that, let me hear that one more time. I'm just getting really confused. That's what I was gonna say. Okay. He said that he thought that Kaylee or Madison was the target. In the beginning of this interview, he said that, right? But if that's the case, then why is he saying that the point of entrance or exit could have been the first floor or second floor? They didn't have to go upstairs. That part, I'm kind of confused on that. Is closed captions available? I don't know. This one's running off of like Safari or whatever it is. So let me see. Yeah, it is available. Let's go back. Maybe that would help me if I can read it.
Officials are combing through thousands of tips.
May have been the target. Heartbroken dad Steve Conclaves joins us now. Steve, before we start this interview, I just want you to know how much our hearts go out to you. That I know from what I'm hearing from people everywhere that they are with you, they're praying for you, and they're also hoping
not sharing that
for
part,
justice to come sooner rather than later for your daughter and her friends. You mentioned here, you talked about the manner in which Kaylee and Maddie were killed is different. And what does that tell you, and what are the police telling you that means?
There's a couple things that tell me.
The closed captioning come off.
But I'm not a professional, so I want to specify that. But they said the entry point was the slider or the window. It was in the middle floor.
Here, let me try to go back.
I know from what I'm hearing from people everywhere that they are with you, they're praying for you, and they're also hoping for justice to come sooner rather than later for your daughter and her friends. You mentioned here, you talked about the manner in which Kaylee and Maddie were killed is.
It's showing up on mine, but it's not showing up on yours. Let me remove it and try to reshare it. It's probably because I'm on Chrome and I'm trying to show a Windows tab. I don't know. Okay, let me just go back and then let me see if this is something
how much our hearts go out to you. I know what I'm hearing that they are for justice to come to you for your daughter and her friend. You mentioned here, you talked about the manner in which Kaylee and Maddie were killed is different. What does that tell you? And what are the police telling you that?
There's a couple things that tell me common sense. I'm not a professional, so I don't want to specify that. But they said the entry point was the slider or the window. It was in the middle floor. So doesn't have to go upstairs. Is it entry and exit are available without having to go upstairs or downstairs? Looks like he probably didn't go downstairs. I don't know that for sure. But yeah, he obviously went upstairs. So I'm using logic that he chose to go up there when he didn't have to. And I can kind of tell by my daughter's texts, messages. She did call 911. She wasn't saying anything along the lines of like she had heard something or she was in fear. So I'm just putting the dots together. As far as the investigators, they're
Wonder how much you would be able to hear. I'm just curious with the like the back slider door. Like if I wonder if you could hear that opening or closing. I was sharing the audio through into StreamYard. I think. I don't know. Why is it maybe through my microphone? Shoot, I don't know. Oh, no. So if I muted it, you guys shouldn't stop hearing it. Like, let me see. Let me try to find it. Oh, really? Let's see. I wonder if I can open this in like, there's probably a way to like open. Yeah, I'll try it. Yeah, and then I'll mute myself. No, that's okay. I'm glad you said something. I want you guys to be able to hear it. Okay. And it could be maybe the windows, because it's in Windows. And I'll turn it up here in just a minute. Let me put the closed caption on.
Thousands of tips for evidence.
Wait.
floor.
Oh, then I must have.
Doesn't have to go upstairs. Is it entry and exit available without having to go upstairs or downstairs? Looks like you probably went downstairs.
I see that.
They obviously went upstairs. So using logic that chose to go up there when he didn't have to. And I can kind of tell by my daughter's texts, messages. She did call 911. She wasn't.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Saying
I'll have to send it to you. But it's the dad's interview. I remember hearing it before. Maybe I just didn't hear that part before. Oh, because that's so crazy. Sometimes it does that, and then other times it doesn't. I wonder if maybe it's in my settings or something that I have it like that. Maybe I don't know. Very weird. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, it's like my stupid like video thing won't let me share very good either because it's not like my Chrome. It's in my. I wonder how I can get that over there. I don't think I can. Good night. Have a good night. I'm going to try this one more time. And then, oh, I have to get it back to my email. I wonder, I don't know how to get that onto Chrome. Open link. Oh, look at that. I found it. I figured it out. Okay. Okay. That's better. So we're getting places. Sorry. Let me turn that down. We're getting places here. Now I just gotta find it over here since there's so much. There we go.
Today marks 3 weeks since 4 University of Idaho students were brutally stabbed to death inside their home. And investigators.
Let me see if there's closed captioning. Yeah.
Officials are combing through thousands of tips, crime scene photos, and evidence.
The father of one of those victims, Kaylee Conclata, is now revealing the manner of death for his daughter and her friend Maddie were different, leading him to believe one of them may have been the target. The heartbroken dad, Steve Conclata, is now. Steve, before we start this interview, I just want you to know how much our hearts go out to you. That I know from what I'm hearing from people everywhere that they are with you, they're praying for you, and they're also hoping for justice to come sooner rather than later for your daughter and her friends. You mentioned here, you talked about the manner in which Kaylee and Maddie were killed is different. And what does that tell you? And what are the police telling you that that means?
There's a couple things that tell me with common sense, but I'm not a professional, so I want to specify that. But they've said the entry point was the slider or the window. It was in the middle floor. So to me, he doesn't have to go upstairs. His entry, there's a couple things that tell me with common sense.
And her friends. You mentioned here, you talked about the manner in which Kaylee and Maddie were killed is different. And what does that tell you? And what are the police telling you that that means?
There's a couple things that tell me with common sense, but I'm not a professional, so I want to specify that. But they've said the entry point was the slider or the window. It was in the middle floor. So to me, he doesn't have to go upstairs. His entry and exit are available without having to go upstairs or downstairs. Looks like he probably may have not gone downstairs. We don't know that for sure, but he obviously went upstairs. So I'm using logic that
It's very confusing to me too. I'm gonna have to like go back over that. Like, we're gonna have to do another live. Like, entry point was the slider or the window on the second floor. Okay, he's not sure if it was the slider door or the dining room window. Yeah, I'm wondering if it, like, I mean, that screen was laying down there on the ground. They left it just laying there forever. The window, he went in a window. I could see him going out the front door. He came in a window. I can see you not wanting to go back out a window. Strange. Okay, well, I am going to jump off here because it's been over 2 hours and I'm getting a little sleepy tonight. But I'll probably be back on to do a live in the morning. And at this rate, if I can't sleep in the next 20 minutes, I'll just come back on and we'll just do another live for EWP. I'll probably have you come on maybe tomorrow and help me. I'm just getting sleepy tonight. But I think I got the audio and everything figured out. It was just because it was on a Windows. It was on my Windows server, or my, no, it's not Windows. It's like Safari or whatever it is, not Chrome. I always call it the wrong one. But okay. So yeah, if I can't sleep the next 20 minutes, I'll probably be back on. But you guys all have a good evening. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your evening with me. If you did like the content and you want to subscribe to the channel, that would be lovely. And if you wouldn't mind just liking the video on your way out, that would be great too. Thank you so much, guys. You have a wonderful, wonderful night and a good weekend.